I think I may be testing our father's patience by continuing to ask for a super clear confirmation about making videos. When I first asked about uploading my Trib Rapture dreams and about the ones in Revelation 3:9, someone asked me the next day for a link to the Trib video if I had one. So my reasoning was that it was technically only about the Trib and Rapture videos. Then the Titanic thing happened, but I just still wanted to make sure I wasn't imagining things. Then, today around 4 a.m., I woke up with my mind incessantly repeating the same phrase over and over again. Oscar is Iskur. And I ignored it for a few minutes and stayed in bed because it's cold, but it would not stop. So I got up, I scribbled on it on a post-it note, and then I recited some psalms before I went back to sleep. So before I get into it, Oscar Norse, old Norse name, Oscar, Asgard, whatever. Just different names for the same thing. But before I get into this, actually, let me go over this. So Ishkur, Iskur, Sumerian, storm and rain deity, Canaanite, Mesopotamia, Amorites, Akkadian, Assyrian, Babylonian. This is relevant, I promise. Baal, bull symbol, Hadad, Greek god Zeus, Roman Jupiter, Babylonian Bel. So a bunch of different names for the same deity, and there is a reason. And for Jupiter, coming from the root word DJOUS, which is like sky / day, and pater, pater, meaning father. And I mean, even Zeus too, like Jew. I want to get into that, but later. There's something I want to talk about because it's very prevalent. But before I get into that, let me explain about the Seor Ferry incident that I mentioned in my last video that happened a decade ago in mid-April. And they basically, a lot of people died because it sank, and it's ruled as a homicide because of the captain's negligence, but we know it's not. Titanic, it sank around the same time, mid-April, and it all ties into what I want to say. So basically, I'll be blunt, since many people are not in the know, but it was partly for ritual sacrifice. And Titanic had some important people, like John Astor, who was actually mentioned in the movie on purpose. And he was against the creation of the Federal Reserve, which essentially allows the bankers or Canaanites to have control over the nation. And if you want to look into the word in Strong's Concordance, look at both A and B, 3667A and B. But if you want to also, talking about control over the nation, to quote a Rothschild from the 1700s, or Rothschild, meaning red shield, he says, "Give me control over a nation's currency, and I care not who makes its laws." And remember this name because I'll be mentioning it a lot moving forward. So going back to Astor, the Great White Brotherhood, this is their symbol. And if you read all the way to the bottom, it says the loss of Titanic in 1912. And John Astor died then because he sank in it, 1912, and then the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. The Great White Brotherhood, also called Ascended Masters, secret organization of an enlightened, illuminated, you know what it is. And they basically ordered the captain of the ship to sink it. And the captain was a Jesuit. And the captain of this Seor ferry who apparently had 33 crew members. He was also ordered by higher ups, and you'll find that the higher up you go, you'll find the Rothschilds executing commands, probably on behalf of other people, more powerful, executing commands regardless of which country. And take the Balfour Declaration, for example. You have the powerful banking family is addressed here, Lord Rothschild. Sympathy with Zionist aspirations, establishment in Palestine, all that, signed by another powerful family. But I'm not going to go into that today because I want to talk about Oscar. And you may be reminded of the Academy Awards, but I want to talk about this K-pop entertainment agency that was founded by the Rothschilds. So you can see the far reach of their power in this world and their plans for the future. So to preface this, I also want to mention the neighboring country of Japan, which was the infrastructure of that country was rebuilt by Zionist bankers after it was nuked for that purpose. So the program run by Oppenheimer, like the movie, and financed by the Rockefellers, which are the American version of Rothschilds. And that is why the anime you see from that country is loaded with Illuminati symbols. And similarly, the Rothschilds funded SM Entertainment, whose music videos we'll look into today. But before we do, take a look at some other entertainment agencies and their logos. So like Cube, like the black cube. You can look into that. And Saturn, why black is associated with Saturn. I think you can look into Phoenician Canaanite Law of Water. I think it's by, so he's an insider, or used to be, Jordan Maxwell. Yeah, if you want to look into that, I think he has a good video. And always use discernment. And Starship, you have that logo of a rocket, like in The Economist, a huge rocket, but it doesn't always mean like missile and nuclear activities. It's it can, if you read all the way down, rocket, obelisk, and all those things, it can be like a portal. Pledis, entertainment. I mean, it says up there, star cluster in the constellation, 7 stars. So yeah, going back to SM, which is considered the giant in the music industry, they started out with tunes from some Swedish producers like this guy, Carl Sandburg, and he produced like NSYNC and Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys. Some of these songs, like, the lyrics wouldn't make sense to an average American listener because it's from this Swedish guy. I think there are some videos on it too. Anyway, back to Oscar. The translation here is bad, but the lyrics are really interesting. It talks about excited energizer. Yes, I'm a synchronizer. Everyone is mindlessly addicted. Tune or sync your frequency to me. It's twinkle, twinkle up in the sky. You've been waiting for this superstorm. Your eyes are blinded when you see me. You want me to death, since greater things will be born again. Born again, like reborn from the ashes? Are they? Probably. Who shines brightly? Oscar. Or Iskur. Or Lucifer, right? Like, same thing. different names. She's an older artist. So Girls' Generation, they're second generation singers from that, agency. This is her first one. She's pretty popular in East Asia. Hurricane Venus. Hurricane, who's Lord of the air, right? And Venus. The black and white checkerboard. Okay, this actually upsets me because when they first came out with this, 2010, I can promise you that their choreography, it was, their fingers, it was the same as the as above, so below sign. Like they did that. I promise you, but I can't find it anywhere. But it changed. I don't know how. But as for the symbol, you can search the image of the goat Baphomet if you want, but I don't want to put it up. And another interesting thing is this actually goes back to another thing that I want to talk about, but if you look up devil, there's a lot to see in the Strong's Concordance, but devil in the Hebrew Bible, sheep to the right, goat to the left. Devil, goat, hairy, kid, rough, and all those things. And Edomites, Esau, the red one. I do want to talk about him later. The hairy one. And the red one. Yeah. So from the same agency is this group called FX. And one of their songs, the agency has a lot of songs entitled Butterfly, and that's for MK Ultra, Monarch programming. You can look into that stuff. This is legit. It's just look into declassified documents from, where it's available. But if you look at their odd eye circle, what is that? Electric shock. Sorry, that's about torture. Using a cattle prod to break the mind. And it's this. Look at the mask. Not mask. Look at the animal. This is a Rothschild party. It's a ball. I think Stanley Kubrick, and I never watched a movie. In Eyes Wide Shut, I think it covered that. He's an insider, but he got, yeah. Oh, it doesn't show here, but I also wanted to talk about, it's a different artist, I think. It's like Breaking Mirrors, but that's also a prevalent theme. Breaking Mirrors is fragmenting the mind or soul to disassociate and have alter personas. And this is Pinocchio. So you can see that pillar. There should be another one. And black and white, whatever. And it's very warped and distracting. But Pinocchio, classic initiation into occult mysteries and man's quest for spiritual enlightenment. And the original story was written by Carlo Lorenzini, or his pen name Collodi, who was a Freemason. And also the themes, puppet maker, master craftsman, handler, tricked into selling their souls for fame and fortune, and led to lawlessness by Foulfellow the Fox, who lures children to a place called Pleasure Island. Hey, isn't that... I think that's Epstein, right? Pleasure Island. And you can see the Mickey Mouse with the Pinocchio nose. there are a lot of references to like Disney themed stuff. Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz is also popular with MK Ultra. The programming and these themes are prevalent in pop culture all over the world. So you pick up any magazines or watch any music videos or movies these days, and like you can see the all-seeing eye and just all the same garbage. So this is it. Red Light. It's the same artist, and basically what happened is soon after the ferry incident, they released a song with the lyrics saying like, "There, you're going to see a miracle soon. Just wait longer or hold on," and other things like "the weak will get eaten," things like that. It's very dark, and there was a whole thing about it. So going back to Disney, 33 Club, it's a mind programming center and a special underground altar for child sacrifice, which is a common Canaanite practice. So in Jeremiah 32:35, it says, "They built the high places of Baal to cause their sons and daughters to pass through the fire onto Molech, which I commanded them not. Neither came it into my mind that they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin," or Judah. And this is a deity of the Ammonites, Phoenicians. There's also Amos 5:26. "You have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch and Kian, your images, the star of your God, which you made yourselves to yourselves." Again, Assyrian, Babylonian, deity of the planet Saturn. Acts 7:43. "You took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Ramphan, figures which you made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon." Please look into the star, what that star is. So, yeah, they have a bunch of different names or similar names across different civilizations. And this is for a reason, because it's the same people. So, Sumer, Assyria, Babylon, like the people of Edomite, Canaanite, Phoenicians, Mesopotamia, Egypt, Rome, all these people. I'm just going to lump them into the same category for the purpose of explaining the fake ones that have ruled throughout those civilizations, because they ultimately worship the same thing. The same thing. And the fruit of their works are lawlessness, destruction, bondage, and misery. And they commit atrocities with their winking eyes and secret handshakes, thinking that they are powerful and above the law. But the one that they serve will betray them once they have served their purpose. They will get discarded. I'm kind of going all over the place, but again, canon. Fourth son of Ham, of Phoenicians, blah blah blah. Ham and people like Solomon, they dabbled a lot with like summoning demons and doing weird things. I think this is from the lesser key of Solomon. Again, Phoenix or Phoenix, or you can read into that if you want, but like put into human shape, blah blah blah. Every 1200 years, doing things. But wait. Oh, yeah. So I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I have my suspicions about the bloodline this traitor comes from. And because the current royalty we have today are very open about their origins, and they're even proud of it. So, Judas, Iscariot, Iscar. And there's just a lot of Gnostic nonsense out there. And the deception runs really deep. And the expert level manipulator was there from the start to pervert the truth. And most people are born into a web of deceit, which is why we need discernment to separate right from almost right. But yeah, again, going back to who they serve, and they have multiple deities and this just whole story about the origin of whatever. But I know that the God I serve has brought me inexplicable peace, as well as genuine love and care for other people, which I know is not of me. So, like, I may share my testimony later, but anyway, because I don't have time to delve in further, but there are a lot of topics that need to be covered. But if I don't get to upload another one, the takeaway is that the prominent ones today that claim that they are real, are in fact not. They are the fake ones from Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. And they mixed their bloodlines with the real ones. They're very warlike, aggressive, and bloodthirsty. And again, if I upload another one, it'll be about Europe and mostly America and how we are affected today.